Hi guys, good day to everyone. We are now on the last part of our chapter number 3, which is yung section for ethical consideration. In this section, the researchers are discussing the steps and procedures na gagawin nila para yung mga private information, yung mga confidential information na binigay ng kanilang mga participants and researchers of the study is maiingatan niya. So to start our discussion, allow me to share my screen. Okay, technically, iba yung discussions natin when it comes to ethical consideration. Dito, wala akong mga steps na i-discuss sa inyo, but instead, meron akong mga important reminders na kailangan ninyong mailagay when you write down your ethical considerations or when you compose your ethical considerations. Take note, this is not universal, meaning to say, pwede itong magbago, depende sa ruling ng inyong institution, kung meron man kayong manual, and at the same time, kung anong orientations ang ibibigay sa inyo ng inyong research teacher as well as ng inyong consultant. But anyway, these are the important information na lagi kong ipinalalagay or ipinadidiscuss sa aking mga researchers kapag ginagawa nila yung ethical considerations ng kanilang manuscript. Number one is that kailangan ma-mention ng mga researchers yung pagkuha ng informed consent. Okay? Papaano sila magbibigay ng informed consent? Ano-anong mga letters ang kailangan nilang ilagay? Or ano-ano yung mga letters na kailangan nilang maibigay prior to the conduct of the study? As well as kailangan din nilang makakuha ng approval, for example, mga minors, yung mga participants nila. So kailangan talaga ng consent letter from the guardian of the participant. Then secondly is that kailangan malaman ko din kung paano iingatan ng mga researchers yung tinatawag na confidentiality. How they will protect the participants' identities. Okay? Gagamit ba sila ng pseudonym? Gagamit ba sila ng mga alphanumeric code? Gagamit ba sila ng mga AKA? Gagamit ba sila ng alias? So they have to discuss that on the ethical consideration part of their research. And then anonymity. It's very important that the researchers will not discuss any identifiable information about their participants of the respondents of the study. Lalo na kapag yung information na yon ay napaka-unique. Pag sabi natin unique, kapag nadinig mo yon, alam mo na agad na sila or siya yung taong mine-mention. So we have to make sure that anonymity will be upheld in the conduct of their research paper. And then we should also provide a space for right to withdraw. Kailangan mabigyan natin or masabi natin sa ating ethical considerations that our participants have the right to withdraw anytime. In case na hindi na convenient sa kanila yung pagpa-participate sa study, pwede silang mag-withdraw. And then respect for the participant is also important. Data integrity is also important. Then approval from ethical review boards. Kung meron kayong research ethics review board, napakahalaga na makakuha kayo ng approval coming from them. Pero kung wala naman kayong ganito, pwede nyo siyang i-omit, kaya siya optional. Pero I do believe na halos lahat ng mga institution is merong tinatawag na ethical review boards. Sila yung responsible sa pag-check kung masusunod ba at nasusunod ba ng mga researchers yung tamang ethics in the conduct of research. And then debriefing. Kailangan mabigyan natin ng orientation yung ating mga participants and respondents of the study regarding to the process of our data gathering. Okay? And kapag na-consider nyo yung 8 ito or yung 7 ito, kasi optional lang naman yung pang 7, ganito yung magiging itsura niya sa ating manuscript. Okay, let's have sample number 1. This study involved 3rd to 6th grade pupil in public elementary schools in Balayan, Batangas. So they have introductory statement. Okay. And then informed consent will be obtained from the parents or guardians before the participation of the participants, providing them with detailed information about the study's purpose. So pag nagbigay kayo ng consent, kailangan nakalagay ito. Study's purpose, procedures, potential risks, and then ano yung mga benefits. It is very important that our participants and respondents are aware to this important keynotes ng ating informed consent. Okay? Then, additionally, will be informed their role in the study and will need to agree to participate. So kapag nag-agree sila, meaning to say, automatically, they will be participating on the study. And then confidentiality will be paramount, with all collected data treated with strictly confidentiality and personal information secured and stored and accessible only by the research team. So para maingatan yung confidentiality ng mga information, they will put all the information in a secured and accessible only ng mga researchers. Okay? Anonymity will be maintained by assigning unique identifiers to the participants, ensuring that individual identities are not disclosed in any reports of the analysis. So maybe they will be using code, aka, ano ba tawag dito, alias, kung ano man yung gagamitin nila. Then after that, participants will be informed to their right to withdraw for the study at any time without any consequences. So the participants have the right to withdraw anytime that they want in case that this is not convenient with them. And then the research emphasized respect for all participants, valuing their experiences and opinions, ensuring a supportive environment for sharing insights about their experiences. Data integrity will be upheld by accurately reporting findings and analyzing the collected data without misinterpretation. So this is only possible if you will get a professional statistician and language editor on your research paper, and you will ask your consultant to really check thoroughly your work after you did it. Okay? But prior to the studies participation, approval will be sought from relevant ethical review board. So maybe this school has ethical review board. So before anything na gagawin nila sa study nila, they have to sought approval from them. Okay? And then this will assure whether the researchers were able to comply on the ethical standards of their institutions. Then after that, finally, after the collected data, participants will be debriefed about the study's purpose and findings of the studies, providing them with the insight into how the contributions will inform understanding of online learning experiences during COVID-19 pandemic. Take note, yung walong binigay ko sa inyong keynotes, not necessarily ganun yung magiging arrangement niya kapag kino-post niyo siya. Yun lamang dapat yung mailagay natin. But the way you will arrange it, the way you will compose it, it depends on you. Kasi for example, this one, itong debriefing na to, pwede nyo itong ma-mention kasabay na nitong after magbigay ng informed consent. No? So it depends on how you will arrange the information. Then after that, let's have sample number 2. Informed consent, so matik na agad. Informed consent will be obtained from the participants prior to the involvement in the study, ensuring that they receive comprehensive information regarding the study's purpose, procedures, potential risks, and benefits. So kung mapapansin niyo, di ba, dito umiikot yung content ng informed consent. Participants must be at least 18 years old and have made at least one purchase in online platform during the specified period. So mention dito that participants must be 18 years old. So meaning to say, hindi na sila mga minor. So kapag binigyan na tayo ng approval ng mga participants na to, so that's good. Not unless talaga the participants themselves will be asking consent from their parents. And then, bibigyan nyo sila ng consent, no, para mapapirmahan sa kanilang parents. Confidentiality will be prioritized, with all responses will be treated with confidential and personal data anonymized in the final analysis to safeguard participants' identities. Participants would be assured to right to withdraw from the studies at any point without any repercussions, allowing them to feel secured in their participation. The study will respect all the participants by valuing their opinions and experiences while fostering supportive learning environment. Data integrity will be maintained by accurately reporting and analyzing collected data without any misinterpretation. Almost the same narrative na una. Approval from the ethical review board, so they have ethical review board as well, will be sought prior to the initiating of the research. This is to make sure that they were able to follow the standards and guidelines of their ethical review board. And after that, lastly, participants will receive the briefing regarding the data collected, providing them the insights into the study's purpose and findings, them allowing them to ask questions if they want to share something. Okay po? So this is how they compose the ethical consideration part of the research manuscript. And then for sample number 3 naman, this is sample number 3. So same lang din naman. They asked for the informed consent. They provided informed consent. Confidentiality will be upheld. Anonymity will be considered, of course. Participants has the right to withdraw. Uh, all persons involved will receive appropriate respect. And then data integrity will be considered all the time. And then after that, they could ask approval from the ethical review board if they have. Then finally, debriefing will be provided to the participants or respondents of the study. So technically, this is how we compose our ethical consideration part of our research paper. Hindi naman siya ganun kahaba, basta ang halaga lang dito is that you will be able to present here or discuss here these 8 important information under ng ethical considerations ng inyong research manuscript. So thank you so much for listening, my dear researchers. I hope and pray that you will be able to defend your research manuscript since this is the last part of chapter number 3 na mag-undergo na proposal defense. So good luck to everyone. God bless.